VentureBeat have released what they believe to be the top 20 selling games of 2018. So did Call of Duty get the top spot again for the umpteenth year in a row? And where exactly did Fallout 76 chart? Bearing in mind, Bethesda were thankful for the millions of people who were playing that game. Well, judging by the title, you probably already know. So, should we just get straight to it? Oh, okay then. Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Now, VentureBeat have put out an article which will be linked in the description box down below of what they believe to be the top 20 selling games of 2018. However, there are a couple of caveats. If a game has a singular asterisk next to it, it means that it's not including digital sales. And if it has two asterisks after it, it means it's not including PC digital sales. So there is definitely going to be some room for movement with some of these games, but it's going to give a pretty decent idea of what did what. Certainly when it comes to the top of the tree. So with that said, I'm going to deal with them in increments of 5, starting from the bottom. And we can see that number 20 on this list is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. Pikachu. And there was another one as well, though, wasn't there? There was Pokemon Let's Go Colin. Something like that. Eevee, I think it was. So there's actually 2 versions of this game, and they are the same game. It just gives you different Pokemons, varying on which one you actually purchased. So Pokemon Let's Go would most likely move up the table if it was combined with the Eevee sales as well. So yeah, we could probably see that jump up a few slots. We saw that both Eevee and Pikachu were selling reasonably close. Bit more Pikachu than Eevee, but reasonably close. So if you combine those two, it could leap several places up the list. But still, decent showing nonetheless, bearing that in mind. Number 19, Super Mario Party. Number 18, Legend of Zelda. Legend of Zelda 2017 game, still selling very well in 2018. And it is a spectacular game. I love it. Absolutely adore it. I think it's one of the most fun games I've ever played. It's just beautiful. Every aspect of it, artistically, gameplay, exploration-wise, there's just so many beautiful things. Breath of the Wild is just so good. Absolutely, mucho bueno. 17, Dragon Balls, Z's Fighters, and 16, Call of Duty, World War II. So that's last year's offering of Call of Duty, and that is not including the PC digital sales either. So it just shows the popularity of the Call of Duty franchise, how well it sells, and even a year on, it's still doing pretty damn decent, but not as decent as another game which has been out for several more years, which we'll see slightly higher up in the table. And clocking in at number 14, we have Battlefield 5. Now, this is one that is not including PC digital sales either. So I do expect Battlefield 5 to move up the table some, definitely with the addition of that, because I think it would have done a decent amount of PC digital sales. But just to see it down here anyway, regardless, in the 14s, in the mid-teens, is again kind of testament to EA and their big mouth. With the direction that they went to with the franchise. They try to go woke, and they just alienated their community. And the funny thing is, it's all virtue signaling. They don't give a toss about women. They don't give a toss about colour, race, religion. It's all marketing to them. It's all trying to pander to demographics for sales. They don't care. It's EA. It's EA. They just care about money. And they just think they can, what's hot? Oh, well, on Twitter, everyone's a massive far lefty. So let's just pander to them. Whereas Twitter is just a far lefty place anyway. And their core audience is most likely men. High 90 something % men. because the demographic doesn't quite blend over, and I've gone through this many, many times. So EA, they went woke and they got it a little bit broke in this case, because they went all virtue signally and they got stung, and then they tried to have a go at the community for rejecting or at least questioning the direction. Got everything that they deserved. I couldn't be happier for them. Number 13, again, not including digital PC sales, but FIFA 19. I am quite surprised that this is so far down. I think there's a little bit of concern in the offices of EA regarding the digital sales of the Ultimate Teams. I think they did a bit of a stunt recently where they essentially gave a bunch of influencers a load of money to purchase all these Ultimate Team packs. And with EA having to give out the percentage of what the rates were in these packs, all that they would say with the top players is less than 1%, which has such a ginormous scope. It could be 1 in a 10 billion for a weekend. But they gave a bunch of money to some influencers to purchase these and open them up on stream to try and get some hype going, because I think they've put in like the most powerful footballer ever. Pele? And they're opening them up on stream, and barely anyone was getting anything. It was really showing how low the drop rate was. So whether that had any effect, maybe a smidgen, maybe just a smidgen, but it kind of really showed how difficult it was to actually get anywhere with the Ultimate Teams, and how much money you would be wasting on these stupid Ultimate Packs, which EA once again refused to get rid of. Mario Kart in at number 12. And I think this one's done so well because it tends to get bundled with Switches, and Switches are selling well, so it adds as a sale there. So Mario Kart, yeah, it's doing all right. I think it's done kind of punched a little bit above its weight. I don't think it's the best Mario Kart by any stretch, but it's done very well in sales, probably bolstered by the push of the Switch. But, you know, fair enough, well done. But here we go, number 11, Grand Theft Auto 5. How old is this game now? 4 years? 5 years? Maybe 5 years. 4 or 5 years. But yeah, it still does so well. If you're in the UK and you keep an eye on the UK charts like me on a semi-regular basis, you'll always see it. You will always see it performing well in the UK charts. People love the game, and it is a spectacular game. There is no denying that. It's so good, the world's really fun, the characters are great, and the story was wonderful. It is a stellar game, absolutely stellar game, and it gets everything that it deserves. Again, getting everything that it deserves. From one extreme with Battlefield to another extreme with Grand Theft Auto 5. Excellent, excellent stuff. And then number 10, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Doing very well. For all intents and purposes, I've heard that this is a decent game. I've heard it's a good game. But it just put me off with its monetization. 7 tabs of microtransactions on day one, including a big EXP boost, constant throughout the game, which just turned me off, considering it was a AAA price. So it's done well, but it put me off. And I think it probably put other people off as well. Could have done better in sales. But Ubisoft are desperate to become the next Activision and EA. They really are. They're so desperate to move away from any sort of single player in terms of just being able to put a bloody disc in your machine and play it. It's all live services. So even their single player games are going to be live services. So if the Ubisoft servers fail, tough titties, your game goes down, even though it doesn't have to be connected. And it's all because they want to push more and more microtransactions, push more monetization schemes. So Ubisoft is turning me off literally day by day in terms of purchasing their products, because I just know it's going to be a monetization fest, which I have no interest in. So let's get balls deep, ladies, into the top 10. So at number 9, we have Monster Hunter World, a game which I gotta confess I really enjoy and I haven't played enough. And I should play more because it is so much fun when I do. It's wonderful to see the Monster Hunter World franchise come to the current generation of console and PC. And the sales, this is now Capcom's best-selling game of all time. Now, whether or not Resident Evil 2 Remake is going to overtake that, I would keep an eye, because I think it might do, because that game is stunning. But this is currently Capcom's best-selling game of all time, and it's easy to see why. It's really good fun, very well put together, seems to be a lot to do. Monetization seems to be spot on with it. New expansion coming out this year. We've got Geralt of Rivia joining in February for a special event. Lots of special events going on regularly throughout the course of the year to get yourself some really cool equipment. It's done really, really well. And again, a game I should be playing more. A little bit disappointed with myself for not. But yeah, it fully deserves a place in the top 10. Great, great RPG. Number 8, my personal game of the year, God of War. I thought this was stunning. So good, lots to do, great gameplay, great story, great characters, great acting. Everything about this game was just top notch. If any game was as close to a 10 out of 10 this year as it could be, it'd be God of War for me. I couldn't put it down. I didn't want to put it down. I played it till I completed it, and I did virtually all of the side quests as well. I think I only have the Queen of the Valkyrie or whatever to defeat. But other than that, it's just wonderful. Can't wait for where the series is going to go with this. There's a secret little ending as well. I won't ruin it for some people if you don't know. And we do get an idea that this story is going to be quite epic and quite sad, ultimately. So yeah, lots, just all the positives about God of War. I can't speak of it highly enough. If you haven't played it, Jesus Christ! Get out there, purchase a copy, whack it in your machine, and get playing. And it's way better than Far Cry 5, which I'm so surprised at how well this game's done. But I will fully admit, I know I'm in the minority here. Far Cry 5 looks great, plays good in terms of gunplay and gameplay. However, I thought the story was awful. The characters were just terrible. The AI was ridiculously bad, but I guess some people love that element of it. They love the goofy, pathetic elements of it as well, and I understand. I mean, there was fun when it came to exploration and stuff like that, and shooting, but there was just too much about this game, which I did complete, so there has to be something to be said about that. But there was just... I don't think this franchise has changed since Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3, I think, peaked. Far Cry 4 was, all right. And then Far Cry 5 was just like, it just felt like a beat-for-beat copy. And so I think that also, in my humble opinion, kind of turned me a wee bit off. But look at this. God of War is also a PS4 exclusive, as is Spider-Man. A PS4 exclusive. So they're doing well considering they're PS4 exclusives, and Far Cry 5, of course, is out on all platforms. But yeah, there you go. Number 6, Marvel Spider-Man. I got it. It's over there. I got it for Christmas. I've yet to play it. I've only heard good things about it. And I am very much looking forward to getting my teeth into this. I was kind of worried prior to its release, but it looks like... I don't have to be concerned about any of that, and this is something which I'm likely going to absolutely goof over and thoroughly enjoy. So with those 4 done, let's hit the top 5. And who is at the number 1 spot? So who have we got left, though? We've got, obviously, Red Dead, Blops 4. We haven't seen Fallout 76 yet. Where are they going to place? Let's have a look. What was that transition? Why am I transitioning when I'm not even... Shut up, Az. Number 5, we got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Doing very well, considering how late it came out in the year. And there was a lot of hype around that. And, of course, Switch. So it's done superbly in terms of sales. It's done really, really well. I think Nintendo are actually going to be very buoyed and very happy with that. I think a lot was riding on it. They changed their whole philosophy as regards to how YouTubers can do videos and stream Nintendo products, and I think a lot of it was it was around Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and hopefully trying to get people to almost esport it, push it as a big one so they could esport it, etc. But yeah, I think they'll be thrilled with that. 4 left. Number 4, Madden. Madden 19. Now, FIFA might have not done as good as they hoped. Of course, PC digital sales weren't affected in that one. But this is with Madden, and Madden hits the number 4 spot. Not all I can say. EA annual franchises, they never change. They're the same every year. I don't get why people buy them, but there you go. Number 3, NBA 2K19. Oh boy, that means we're going to miss a big game. A big game. Again, annual... number 2, COD. Blops did not do it, and there is no caveat. There is no caveat. All digital sales are in this. Now, that isn't... Now, to say you're number 2 on the best-selling games of 2018, and it's a slight disappointment, but it is, technically, for Activision. Now, of course, they did 500 million in 3 days on release, and the shareholders classed that as underperforming. Underperforming. 500 million? 500 million? In 3 days, and it underperformed. They wanted 550 million. They only got 500. Oh, what a... And bearing in mind, of course, how much that would have cost to make. What, 50 mil? Let's just say, for argument's sake. And then marketing, there was probably 50 to 75 million in marketing. So the overhead for the game might have been around 125 mil. 500 mil. Look at all that profit on day, first 3 days. Underperforming. This is why the shareholder model is just non-sustainable, because they just want more. They want constant growth, and it's not conducive to video games, and so they will just implode eventually. So is Fallout 76 number 1? Of course it isn't. It's Red Dead Redemption 2, which also means, of course, Fallout 76 doesn't even make the top 20, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But Red Dead Redemption 2, my second best game of the year. I thought God of War was personally better. I know it's subjective. You can have your own opinion. I just thought the God of War was just a slightly bit better. And also I was hooked on this. I've kind of drifted a little bit away from Red Dead 2. And I haven't gone back to finish it. And I don't quite know why, because I was enjoying my time with it. I very much enjoy my time when I am on it. So I don't know if it's because maybe, some time has passed and I need to get my bearings back with it, and it'd probably be relatively easy to get back into the swing of things. But it was when I was playing it, it was a great game. Do not get me wrong. It was a great game. But I did think, like God of War, its combat was better. I did think it handled better and was more interesting. I do find the combat with Red Dead a little bit finicky at times. But that could just be me. But, a little bit finicky at times. But it is a great game. It looks beautiful. The characters are superb. The acting is excellent. The open world is incredible. The whole aesthetic of it is just mind-blowing. The weather effects are stunning. I mean, stunning. Never seen anything of that caliber before. So, it rightly deserves to have sold more. And that means, of course, it's sold colossal numbers. Colossal numbers. If it's beaten Call of Duty with, again, no caveats. No caveats next to it. And no caveats next to this either. So it's just sold phenomenally. So well done to Red Dead 2. And so let's have a quick word. Fallout 76 didn't even make the top 20. Didn't even make the top 20. Now, you will recall that Bethesda said that millions of people were playing the game. Somebody did some number crunching back in early December. And in early December, it looked like there was about 480,000 people playing or who had played. And let's just be completely honest now, that is probably absolutely tanked in the meantime. This is a game, Fallout 76, that will go free to play. Make no bones about it. It has to go free to play at some point. Maybe not this year, maybe next year. I think towards the end of this year it might well do. Because it's not selling. It's not selling. It didn't break the top 20. We know that some companies are sending copies back because they have some sort of like buyback scheme. There's tons everywhere. It's not selling and it's constantly on discount. It's really low in price here in the UK. You can pick up a copy for 20 quid. And before you say, yeah, but this is, what if it's not including the digital sales of it? Well, fair enough. It may move it up a little bit, but not much because it still had a shop release, a retail release. Even though you didn't have a disc in it and you had to use a download code, it was still a retail release on it. And that was down, 85%? Or 83% on Fallout 4. So yeah, Fallout 76 is a confirmed turkey. Of a game. Failed absolutely miserably. And the only way they're ever going to get any chance of people coming back to the game is when they do eventually push it to free to play, which I think is an inevitability. When? Don't know. But it's an inevitability. Because if you're not selling titles, you're not getting people playing. If you're not getting people playing, it can't make any money. It's probably in the hole right now in terms of money, but then again, it probably had so little put towards its actual construction, who knows. But yeah, I say keep an eye towards the end of this year, and we may see it go free to play. So there you go. There's VentureBeat's version of the top 20 selling games of 2018. All link to it in the description box down below. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do get a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on social media and Twitch for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. Bye for now.